Viewer discretion is advised.
Happy Monday, you are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 124, and we are in patch 7.0.3 Legion. Tonight we are going to be talking about Legion. I promise, no Warlords of Draenor talk. Everybody was mad about that last week. I apologize. We will be going over all the things that we've experienced with the launch, with Legion, likes, dislikes, tips, tricks, as well as the World of Warcraft news that happened all around the world. We have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
In the World of Warcraft trade chat, troll-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Azeroth, the dedicated players who call out these asshats are members of the elite squad known as the PWNCAST podcast. These are their story.
So it's about that time again. We go through this every week where I decide if I want to unmute these guys or if I just want to spend an intimate moment with all of you watching and listening, where we don't have to hear anything they have to say and we can connect together. Okay, I made this a little weird. I guess I'm going to unmute them now. I did make it a little weird, but
slightly.
I did bring the Death Knight who learned firsthand that bears do in fact shit in the woods, Lycan.
Damn. They do. I'm so happy to be back.
I know.
We're happy to have you back.
We're happy to have you back. Everybody's asked where you've been, so you are back.
Like every show.
Yeah, pretty much. Somebody asks every show.
I have a question though. Did you say tits and tricks? Or tips and tricks?
I don't really remember.
Just a tip.
I don't remember. The show's rated E for not everyone. It's rated E for explicit, so hopefully.
I thought it meant entertaining when you asked that.
Yeah.
I think I read the review of a lovely gentleman who was like, I thought E was for everyone, and then I found out it was for explicit.
An episode I asked before I said I thought it was for entertaining.
Well, we are that, if nothing else. We can be entertaining.
Yeah, just a tip.
I can hear somebody typing. Also,
nope, that doesn't exist.
I did also bring the monk who has no faction loyalty, Gemma Banks.
I did actually. I'm in the middle of a bidding war. It's like I hit level 110 on my monk, and I'm loving it. But then my best WoW friend came back for Horde, and this is the first expansion that I haven't leveled up as Horde. So he was definitely making fun of me and
devastated.
So much confliction. Yeah.
It's tough being on that fence, right? You don't want one to mean the other, and you're really trying hard to just keep your friendships and keep your faction and do your things, and yeah.
Yeah, Monk is the main, but I did the Hunter always, and like he's a good healer, and he's just like, hey, let's do something like 110. Oh wait, you're not.
Just kidding. Is your Hunter Horde?
Yeah, he is. And then like, so I'm on a PvP server, and I got ganked multiple times because I'm only 103 on the Hunter. And he was so mad that I wasn't putting more of an effort to kill Alliance. And he's like, see, you're in cahoots. He's like, you don't even care. He
uses that word.
Yeah.
Cahoots.
Wow.
That's some shit my grandmother would say. If I
Cahoots. We're in cahoots with each other.
Cahoots.
I don't have any better words.
We're happy to have you and all of your
cahootness.
Shut up, Danger Dave.
That's right. I will level him.
I did also bring the raid lead who is the only one not leveled and ready to start raiding Secret Sauce.
Oh no, I can't. I worked like 54 hours this week, so it was impossible for me to play. Oh yeah, that didn't help either. 3 days with no internet, not even fun, not even fair, not fair to the raid team. Like I should have been like 840 by now, but
I'm fine. Only 806. Can I still raid? No.
Actually, I was looking at gear scores and stuff like that, and I think the bare minimum for normals would probably be like 815, 820.
Yeah, I think we can. Somebody asked me. I think you can successfully enter normal. Normal gear for the first tier of rating is going to be 850 and item level. Your LFR is going to be 835. Yeah. So you're going to get a lot of gear from World Quest, which we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that a good benchmark is going to be 815, 820 to start. Yeah. And start replacing
so
those pieces.
I'm not worried about it. We will have a lot of players that are probably going to be overgeared
sure.
by the time the raids do come out. So I'm not overly concerned about it for right now.
For sure. Well, I mean, in the leveling process, we'll talk about that later when you guys are talking about what you did in game this week. But leveling process is pretty amazing. So, yes, I do want to officially welcome Lycan back. He had some real life stuff that he had to take care of, and we are back and ready to play. I'm really excited. And also, I want to make sure, for those of you who are wondering what happened to live, if you didn't see the post that I did post in the PWNCAST Facebook page, we are going to be not doing live for a little bit. It's time for us to kind of get back to basics and no tech issues, and really just kind of continue to work on the quality of the show and continue to put out good things. And it's much easier for us to control those things on a non-live setting so that it can be focused more on good audio, good content, good things, less tech issues. Yeah, and just really just be about what we need to be about, which is just focused on each other, focused on connecting, focused on gaming. So I'm really
on the people.
Yes, and I'm really excited because the live element is really stressful for me. So
yeah,
it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really, really good thing. Now, there's lots and lots of news that has happened this week, guys. Obviously, I mean, in case you guys have been living under a rock and did not know that Legion is officially live, with that has brought lots of things, and I want to jump right in with the Legion stuff, and I want to talk about Karazhan. Now, we did already talk about this subject previously on the show when they released their teaser, right? Their teaser was super nice. Now, this is going to be an interesting thing for us to talk about, because I don't remember Karazhan in all its glory, because I didn't do Karazhan in current content or even later content. I do the first boss for the horse. I did the chest thing one time. I've cleared it, but I didn't know a lot about Karazhan. Yeah, outside of obviously the home of that. So I'm going to hit you with some facts, and then what I want Lycan to kind of give us some storyline and what this means and what the connection is to Legion. So let's hit you with some facts here. So the Karazhan's going to be a 5-man dungeon, and it's going to be a Khadgar questline. Kara will be more difficult than your current 5-man mythic, and it will be on a weekly lockout. So basically, it is a 5-man dungeon, but it is going to be more difficult than Mythic. So I think we're looking at like a hybrid raid dungeon situation here. They said in the Q&A at PAX that the rewards will be generous. I don't really know what that means, because generous to me isn't generous to you. So we're going to have to wait and see what those rewards of generous are going to be. Boss encounters will have themes such as Alice in Wonderland, Upside Down, new plays at the opera, and a new version of the chess encounter, which I could never figure out. I had to have help with that. And Kara will have new content and an area, as well as revamping the old dungeon. So let's talk about the storyline of Karazhan and why it could be important to Legion, Lycan.
Well, remember, too, if you did any of the pre-quests going into Legion, there was a point where you actually went into Karazhan with Khadgar. And something that kind of put a little thing in my head was the idea that Moros, which was his personal butler
assistant,
he actually saw that the coming of the Legion, and when he dropped the wards that were protecting Karazhan, and he sees this as Medivh's return. So it's a possibility that, we might see the last Guardian come back. Just because, that it was like towards the end, as you're watching some of the things, he says, he saw this as an omen heralding the return of Medivh. So that's why he invited the demons into the Legion.
True.
Into the Karazhan. So it'll be neat to see how that actually turns out.
Now, for my understanding, because I'm not the lore person, when it came to the movie, that was accurate, right? On Medivh's part, with him being he had the fell. Over. Is that accurate in what we know for World of Warcraft? Because I don't know. No, it's not accurate.
No. So what happened between Medivh and the whole opening of the Dark Portal is that he actually mind connected with Ner'zhul and had been doing this for a while to build the Dark Portal on Draenor to bring it up. And we're not talking Warlords of Draenor, so nobody can freak out about this.
I know somebody's going to have a meltdown.
So what he did is he actually mind melded with him, kind of like did this psychic connection to have him start building that. And that's how the connection between the two worlds started. Remember, he was inhabited through fetal possession. We discussed that before.
Still creepy to me that you were possessed as a fetus. Can you not possess fetuses?
But it's so much fun.
It's a thing to do.
So
right.
Everyone's doing it these days.
Right. And remember, he was possessed, so he had Sargeras through him, and this is where Sargeras wanted to bring over the Legion into Draenor, or into Azeroth. So he had to make that connection. Now, where we see it differ is that, this was Ner'zhul doing this, not Gul'dan. Gul'dan in the movies who they kind of pitted to be doing this, and not Ner'zhul. Ner'zhul was the one that was opening up the portals originally.
So will Medivh play a role?
I'm hoping,
because they talked in the teaser they talked about Master, and I had tasked everybody to think about, outside of Medivh or the obvious, who else could be considered the Master here in regards to Karazhan.
If that was Moros talking, which we all know it was, so it was Moros saying Master, the only person he would ever call Master would be Medivh.
Yes.
So what you're saying is Jaina's a Dreadlord. Is that what you're... All I got out of that is Jaina's a Dreadlord.
Yeah, Moros was his personal butler. So when you went into when Khadgar originally had gone there as an apprentice, there were 3 inhabitants of Karazhan. There was Medivh, there was the cook named Cook, and there was Moros, which was his personal butler. And he was just this old man that kind of did anything Medivh
old man stuff.
Right. He did his bidding. Think Mr. Belvedere. Mm-hmm. So that's what he did. And if he's calling Master and he's saying the Master will return, then that is definitely going to say that Medivh will play some type of part coming through Legion.
Yeah, I agree.
And which is really cool because they're going actually something into Karazhan too that we have not seen in the lore in the game, but we read in books, which is the upside down part that you had just mentioned. Mm-hmm. The upside down Karazhan is actually part of the lore through The Last Guardian. That was a Christie Golden book, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And that's where they killed Medivh. Now, we see that differently in the movie.
Right.
But in the lore, they killed him in the upside down version of Karazhan. Because they found Moros' dead body and blood going into the wall. Right. It's like a blood stain going right into this wall, and it stopped. And they ended up getting into the secret passage. The secret passage was an exact copy of Karazhan, but it's like literally upside down.
Interesting.
Yeah, and there's actually a little bit talked about it in game only.
Why was there was the exact copy made by somebody? Was there an intention there?
Well, that's the thing. There is a little tidbit that we learn in game, and that's from Archmage.
Oh, so we don't want to spoil it.
Well, no. This is from a while ago, and it's Archmage Alvaro, or Alvaro. I don't know how to say it, but he wrote a treatise proposing the existence of an exact copy of Karazhan, but on a different planet that existed in the same exact time and space.
Wow.
To what end would they do that, though? What would be? We wouldn't know that.
Yeah, at the very bottom, or what would have been the top, where you go to the top of Karazhan, and there's Medivh's personal bedroom and his little workshop up there at the very bottom.
I imagine that's where he kept his hookers and blow, but I don't know if that's fact. But I in my mind's eye, I feel like that's what he's keeping there.
Well, at the bottom, or what would have been the top of Karazhan, but on the opposite end, flipped upside down, was his secret lab where he did all this work for Sargeras without anybody knowing. So if we're going into the upside down Karazhan, we may see some of the stuff that we've never mentioned, that we've never got to see.
Like the hookers and blow.
Like the hookers and blow.
Confirmed.
That's real.
Confirmed.
Yep. That stuff does exist.
And if you go into Karazhan and you go up the steps and go to the right, there are hookers up there too.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise
me. I just haven't found the blow in the game.
I mean, if I'm Medivh, it's kind of like the president, right? I'm going to have some interns around for things. I don't know what things, because we don't talk about that kind of stuff, but I'm just saying for things. I would totally... I just made this really weird. Sorry about that.
What goes in Karazhan stays.
Right. So there's been a lot of people who have been a little bit negative about the Karazhan thing and why can't Blizzard come up with new content. I got to be really honest, guys. For someone like me who didn't experience some of this, I'm excited. But even for people who have experienced, I think that this is very reliving of those memories. And I think that kind of ports you back to the moments where you fell in love with World of Warcraft. I don't have a problem going through that stuff. And I'm sure some of you veterans that did this stuff, when it was current and Karazhan was a struggle, I think that's just, it's very reminiscent. And I think that's a good, happy feeling that people feel.
I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah.
Did you play that current content secret?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
that was and still is like one of the raids that everybody wants to come back to.
Oh yeah,
Because of
absolutely.
how well done it was done.
It was a challenge. It was beautiful. There was so much going on. There's so much backstory. I mean, there's everything you would want in a raid. And even though it was a 10-man, not and especially for high content, really big guilds, it was great because you could have multiple people running it at the exact same time and kind of experiencing it at the exact same time. So no one was really out of the loop, especially for that reason. Like now, everything's anything from 10 to 30 man, and it kind of you could be more connected to it because of the type of raid that it was.
Exciting.
Yeah,
and the generous
Video looked good.
rewards. Yeah, did you like it visually? I was going to ask Gemma because you never really kind of feel you love everything. Everything is awesome, so it's really hard to get like.
I don't get like when you mentioned the complaints about the new content. I mean, we do have new content. I like the remix. I just like all the stuff. Very rarely do you get
your theme song is "Everything Is Awesome." That's going to be your new
Everything is awesome
theme song moving forward.
I have to Google that song after the
So
show.
they haven't. Karazhan will be in PTR soon. People are like, "Oh my god, it's too soon." I'm going to trust Blizzard to release it as they should. I'm sure they're going to want to work everything out and do all those things.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't freak too much about that, but that is going to be with patch 7.
In a month, people won't be saying too soon. They'll say, let's go.
Right.
Yep.
Now, let's talk about PAX West happened, which sad we don't get to go to that because I would really like to go to that. But then again, a lot of it's esports and that's cool, but not really.
Yeah, but there is other stuff there too, so it would be fun just to go to it.
I agree. I think there should be. I think that should be a thing. Now
Yes.
they did talk about for Legion that a new raid was announced. That's not going to be coming out right now. It's going to be called the Trial of Valor, and it's going to be between Emerald Nightmare and Nighthold. It's going to be a mini raid with some cool trinkets. A mini raid with cool trinkets. I don't know what that means, but
I love trinkets. Trinkets
I'm
are great.
in. It's going to tie up the Addon and Helia story started that we those of you that have progressed and been through Halls of Valor and through Stormheim, you will have seen those storylines unfold. And then there will also be an Illidan storyline. Now, the question regarding the Illidan storyline, and you've been through, I'm assuming, both raids, right?
Which one?
Have you been through the Halls of Valor?
I have actually not. I've not actually
Okay,
done that. I just started working on Storm. It's fine, but I just started working on Stormheim.
Okay. Because there's like a
storylines
mini,
today.
there's like a mini scenario inside there that you have to do with Helia.
Right.
She's
Oh,
a
right.
crazy-
Oh, yeah.
She's a crazy
Hell
bitch.
yeah.
She's tentacles. Some people like that kind of thing. It's not really my get down,
And that is a cool story between the Odin Helia storyline of how
How is Illidan? I'm curious to see where Illidan's going to play a part in that. I'd like to see how that kind of unfolds. We haven't really seen, Illidan's the theme of Legion, so it's curious that we haven't really seen Illidan in general in that regard. So
Yeah, and I can't see how they would fit them into a person. Maybe it's a different storyline that they're talking about, or about him going into these raids to conquer Odin or get power of Odin and Helia. But
Right.
because all that stuff happened thousands of years ago between Odin and Helia and how he trapped her down there and all this shit going on. But I can't imagine them just saying, "Oh, by the way, we're going to go," and you're going to love this word again. We're going to retcon Illidan into the whole Odin storyline.
That's what we've been missing the last couple weeks. They like his lore.
I didn't know what retcon meant, and him and the red shirt guy said it 20 times during an episode, and I'm like, hold on, can somebody please tell me what retcon is, because I don't understand what's happening. It was like Danger Dave, I didn't get it. Sometimes, guys, I'm a little slow, and it just is what it is. I had a lot of fun in the 60s. Just kidding, I wasn't alive in the 60s. So with the Halls of Valor and Odin, you're basically going through this trial, right? You have to prove your self-worth to Odin, and once you prove your self-worth, then you're the guy, you're the champion. We'll help you. You can come along and be on the cool team. So I liked the Helia story as well. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna play itself out, and I'm excited for the content as far as story. We'll talk about this in a little bit, but I don't know about you guys, but the story has been amazing, literally amazing.
Amazing Grace.
But we'll talk about that after we get through this. Now, for the PAX East, leading into that, they also talked about Suramar being
I thought you just said PAX West.
PAX West. Where did I get East? I don't know. Maybe I was thinking of Asia. I'm not really sure.
She's thinking of you. She's thinking of you.
PAX West. They did talk about Suramar. It's obviously everybody's favorite in the world.
Is it?
Well, it's mine. It's mine.
I saw the cinematic when it's like,
it is my
Suramar.
happy place. That is where I set my Hearthstone there. I literally will be, that is where you can, where's Belle? Belle's in Suramar. That's what she's doing.
But the lady who needs help, who's like, hey, can you help me save Suramar? And it's all passionate. I thought of you, and I was like, I have to save Suramar for Belle.
For me, because that's my home now. I live there with that bratty little girl who almost gets you killed, but we'll talk about that later. So they early on, basically they stated early on, Suramar is a player favorite. A lot of people have stated about how much they love that and this and that. There's going to be a weekly campaign lasting about 9 weeks, which is super exciting because it's a level 110 zone. If you guys are still in the leveling process and you think maybe I just want to go check out Suramar, what's Belle always ranting about? Don't do it, guys. It's a bad scene. Suramar is not built for people. You have to be max level. You need to get the quest for the mask so that you can be hidden because it's death, guys. Death and dismemberment across the board. Yeah, it's
all bad news.
I laughed my ass off. Your brother decided that he was going to jump off of Dalaran, and he glided.
They catch you, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He came upstairs and said, "So Suramar sucks," and I'm like, "No, you don't belong there. You're not
he
that
was
level."
Stuck there, right, for like ever.
Yeah, you can't. It's not the place for you. You need to be 110. You need to get the quest to have the masquerade mask. You have to learn how to use the baskets. You have to learn how to line of sight the super elites that can see you. There's a lot of things surrounding Suramar. Which next week I'm actually gonna have a lot of good word on Suramar for you guys going into it. If you're not 110, stay the fuck away. There's a quest that will take you there to do something real quick.
Yeah.
You can go do that and then go back. Gemma was like, I'm not going here. Belle said not to go here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, it's totally okay for you to go for that one quest, but don't hang out until your time is ready because it's just death. That makes me laugh that you said because he came up here. He was mad as hell.
All I heard on Curse was, oh shit, he's following me again. God damn it.
He's becoming a legend, your brother.
He's already been one.
Man,
oh, my bad. I'm getting caught up.
He is really something special. Now,
that's exactly what he is.
At PAX West, the Legion Companion mobile app was announced. I'm really happy because we've known about this app for a really long time and have not been able to say anything because that's the price you pay for glory, right? They can't tell stuff. So we were sworn to secrecy. I can tell you that firsthand knowledge, it's beautiful. It's going to be a great thing. Now, the important thing to note regarding this app is it should be out sometime by the end of the week. They said the first week, and I think what they're waiting for is for probably the different stores to approve the app because I know you have to go through that process with Google Play and iTunes. So we'll just keep checking and waiting to see somebody say that it is live. You're going to be able to track your missions. You're going to be able to send your followers on missions. You'll be able to do your recruiting. Each of you can all recruit.
From my phone, thank God.
And you will be able to see the available world quests. You have to log into game to be able to do those world quests. And there's not like, this isn't eliminating your need to be able to log into World of Warcraft. So let's not get crazy here with this. I can just play from my phone stuff because it's not what's happening here.
And that's what I was looking forward to.
The rewards you get from completed missions in your
They're
order
generous.
hall. They are generous, right? We're going to use that word generous. They are also going to show up in your inventory when you log into game. So you'll be able to get those rewards. It'll be right there for you. Now, you cannot be logged into the companion app and in the computer at the same time, which that's normal. You can't do that with the mobile armory app. That's, that's normal. Your login is saved, so you don't have to keep relogging. The BattleNet functionality that we have currently with the mobile armory, where it taps it once and you're good, that's going to be that same functionality there. So that'll make it easier. Pet Battle, now I'm going to talk about this because it's important. People had commented some negative things. Well, why can't you do this for pet battling? Let's be clear on the way that Blizzard does things. They use a lot of things for testing grounds, guys. It's leading the door open. They jump in the water with a little bit to see what takes, and then they that's how they make their bread and butter, is they test, they market, they test. So pet battling, of course, has been discussed, which is going to make Jimma super happy because he's all about that Pokemon Go life.
You have my attention.
So for right now, they said that the team is focused on Legion features with this app, but they are paying attention to how people are using this, how people are enjoying this, how useful this is going to be. So pet battling via the app has already been talked about, as well as
That's crazy.
As well as chat functionality. So somebody also said, well, why can't they just do BattleNet. Now, Hearthstone, they've already tested the waters with that. You can talk to people on your BattleNet through Hearthstone. Let Blizzard do this in their own time, guys. This is how they perfect their craft. They perfect what they do by giving us a little bit, see where we take it. Give us a little bit, see where we take it. So let's be positive. Everybody's like, well, it should have been with the garrisons. Would you have loved the garrisons anymore if you could have done it from your phone? I think not. I mean,
I would have been happier.
Well, but you wouldn't have loved your garrison. You wouldn't have been like, the garrison was the greatest thing ever. Everybody hated their garrison. So, I mean, it wasn't going to make you love the garrison anymore.
I loved my garrison when it would give me 10,000 gold.
I loved my garrison when I was making money.
It would have just been awesome to do it on break.
So,
because I'd come home for an hour and send all my treasure hunters away. But of course, they were probably testing it and they had the idea a while ago, right?
The important thing here is Blizzard is a business, right? They're going to want to know that what they're doing, the money they're spending on something is for a purpose. So if you guys want this pet battle app and you guys want this chat, use this Legion companion app. Give them data, give them statistics, give them something to prove that their money going into these mobile departments is worth something.
Right.
That's the best way that we can continue to get what we need mobile wise and a little bit of workability there, by playing it, using it, giving them feedback, going through it, and showing them, because stats, that's what they're about, right? They want to know. That's how they track what's good for the player base. So download it when it's available. We'll post it on PWNCAST the second. I check every day. Every morning I get up, I check to see if it's on the App Store. I'm really excited about this because there are moments when you guys don't want to put on pants. How often does Jim and not wear pants?
I was going to say I have to wear pants.
I'm not wearing pants, so.
I wear pants.
I have my, and some people know this, I have my infamous Batman underwear on right now.
Man. Those Batman underwear are a sight to behold in when they're his profile picture for Skype and Zoom. Because then when he turns his camera off, it's him in his Batman underwear. Men are a little hairy. I don't know if you guys, this just in. But guys, to be friends with these boys is just to know them in a whole other enlightening way. It's so...
You know too much already.
Disgusting and awesome at the same time. I don't even know how to describe that.
Did you just call us disgusting?
I'm wearing him up on the shirt.
I'm appalled.
Now, it's important to note that the Mobile Armory and the Legion Companion app are two separate entities right now. Two separate things. The Mobile Armory, the Armory itself is still not working correctly. They're working on that. If you're on your mobile phone, My Armory isn't updated. It doesn't update. It's being worked at. They're reworking the Mobile Armory. They're reworking the Armory in general. What they want is they wanted everything to be the same across the board. They wanted everything to look the same, which is really smart because I agree. I think that's how you should do things. So,
I just can't wait till it's break time. And in the future, Jim just gets 3 PvP pet battle wins on his app in the future.
This weekend, I had no access to the computer or internet whatsoever. That would have been ideal to running my guys through their missions while I was gone. I could have been so caught. I'm so far behind right now because
you were watching bears shit in the woods.
True.
Mm-hmm.
They do shit in the woods.
They do shit in the woods.
No one's there to hear it. Shit in the woods. Is there still sound?
Do they grunt? I guess would be.
If nobody's around to hear them grunt, is there still sound?
Valid. Let's talk about the timeline of the way things are happening in Legion, so that you guys are aware of what's going on. So we've already got the dungeons are ready to go. They're ready to rock. They're live. September 20th, the Emerald Nightmare opens with normal and heroic difficulty. Mythic Keystones will start dropping, which will increase the rewards and raid difficulty. Now, it's also important. I'll be doing a Mythic Keystone guide because this is going to be... It's never ending with this Mythic Keystone system. So even if you've outgeared for regular Mythic dungeons, you'll be able to use these Keystones for leverage to be able to continuously get each harder difficulty, harder gear, better rewards. It's basically for those that just crave, I topped everything, now I have nothing to do. Well, have a Mythic Keystone, shut up, because you can just go and do and be happy because it's unlimited difficulty according to the Keystone. So once that feature's active and people start using that, we'll be able to talk about that a little bit in depth. I didn't do any of that stuff in beta. September 27th, the Emerald Nightmare Mythic difficulty opens along with the first wing of LFR. It's important to note that LFR will drop 735 gear, or 835 gear. So don't freak out. You just need to be 810 to be able to get into
LFR is so hard.
I mean, everybody will face roll and go in there sleeping, so it'll be totally fine.
Yep.
No, the first couple weeks, everyone, I remember it is, even watching the show when you guys did it, the couple waves are sometimes difficult when you have 25 people and it's brand new.
Yeah, for sure.
I just stand there.
You sure do.
I do not. I'm just kidding. You're awfully rude. October 11th is Wing 2 of the Emerald Nightmare opens in LFR, and then October 25th, Wing 3 of the Emerald Nightmare opens in LFR. PvP, for those of you interested. September 20th is Legion PvP Season 1. You have to be 110 in order to be able to prestige and do your honor, start getting your honor points and all that. Get your artifact weapon ready, guys. It's going to make or break whether or not you're dying. So let's get progress done on that for those of you that are PvPers. You're going to want to make sure you've worked out your rotation. Go do some PvP now if you have the means. Go get used to absorb the changes. Get ready and work on building your teams. Find your partners, do-si-do, promenade, do all that stuff that you guys do when you square dance for PvP, because you got the underbelly, right? The new sewers. I had to have an armed escort in guildies earlier because I needed to go get a glyph. I had to buy a glyph from the vendor down there, and I had to have an armed escort. And I can tell you that I lasted a little bit longer than I thought I was going to, but it was death everywhere. Yeah. There was bodies dropping.
Is it just a free for all?
It's a free for all PvP. The second you go down in there, and it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but you know why everyone's down there, right?
Yeah, to kill each other.
No, for the damn mount.
Yeah, and the sightless eye, you want to farm the sightless eyes too, because there's certain things you can only buy with the sightless eyes, and you get those from killing players. But
I don't know. I've always said that I like the way Blizzard tries to incorporate different things and get people interested in it. I know profession-wise, I don't like going into that friggin' dungeon or area, but as an engineer, I have to.
Yep, sure do.
I hate that.
Well, and let me tell you a little secret. So you can turn, when the sewer guards are there, there's no PvP, right?
Right.
And there'll be a buff that'll tell you, if you go down in here, you're screwed. You're DED dead, so you might as well just turn around and go home, because you're going to go home crying anyway. But there'll be a buff when you start to head down in that direction that'll tell you if the guards are there, you're good to go. If they bribe the guards, because you can, with the sightless eyes or the coins and all this other stuff, you can bribe the guards. There is another element there. I'm going to let people figure it out on their own, because I've been asked by the PvP players to not make that readily public, because it will change the mechanics a little bit of the way it works. Do your research, guys. Just do your research. There is ways for you to be able to be down there and be okay. But bribe a guard. Be happy.
Be that person, right? Be that guy.
Go do your thing. Go do the cha-cha. But go down there in a group. That's what these guys do. There's not solo players down there. There might be, but 90% of these guys are in a giant group.
Oh, yeah. They're in a 40-man raid.
Yeah, they're doing the cha-cha down there. It was awful. Once I'm geared and feel comfortable doing PvP with the new changes with destruction.
Once she gets her raid group from 9 to 15 people, to go down there.
When I can go down there, we can just wreck face with like 50 people. Then it'll be.
I can see her with like a raid team of 50 and like die.
I would totally do it, because I have no shame in that regard. So that's gonna be.
That's what everyone else is doing though. So
you
might
can
as well
start acquiring your honor points now and doing all that stuff for PvP. So don't wait for the season to start for you to start getting what you need. Lots of world quests for PvP that drop gear. That's your gear's RNG. You're at the mercy of Blizzard. So let's go and do the things and be in cha-cha and stuff, because you'll need to have.
You have something to say, Lycan.
It's that easy?
No.
I just looked up how to get in. It's that easy?
It is.
Yeah.
So I was asked to not make anything, so we'll keep moving. But I was asked by the people that do like to do the sewers, because they don't want it to be just they like the element of people going down there and getting ganked. They like that, and I like that. I felt like I had this anxiety going down there, and I was super stressed out when I had to go down there the other day by myself. I made it out alive, but because I ran like a bitch. So, but I did enjoy that element of having to sneak because I didn't want to die. So I respected the players that had asked me to just not make that more prominent. But yes, you can bypass it. It will require you dying at least once to be able to get the means to be able to bypass it. But yes, you can. They gave a happy medium. They just didn't make it public for everybody because they wanted that element. So you do your own research on that, and that way the PvPers don't want to kill me because, thanks. So.
Oh yeah, no, they will too.
He's like, fuck you.
You'd think I was on like a show or something. I would have known this. Or there's a website out there.
You've been out of the loop for a while. Everybody thought I killed you. A couple people commented on the show, and they were like, "He's never coming back, is he?" I swear, guys, I didn't kill him. I promise. It is what it is.
How ironic we were missing the lore. It was a big bowl of Nathan without him.
It really.
Oh, I'm sorry. Use my save name.
Who is that?
That's a saying.
Who's that though?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that guy.
Hello?
Just name dropped, homie.
Yeah.
Whose name?
It's Rune. You said Nathan.
It's a big bowl of Nathan.
Awkward. So let's talk about the last piece of news before we get to Blizzard posted an infographic on stats, and I wanted to go over that with you guys. Before we do that, let's talk about Darkmoon Faire. The Darkmoon Faire is in town. So they've introduced some new things as of last month. There's a toy. It's the Sparkle Pony. And every time your mount jumps, you can enjoy the fireworks. So it'll be
Lycan.
sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. The tabard of the Scarlet Crusade. You can go in there and get those 2 tabards. There's a thing up on PDQ about it. Also, for the Darkmoon Faire, there's for leveling, you get a 10% experience and reputation boost for 1 hour with the Darkmoon top hat. It's sold by Grimegate, the souvenir and toy vendor. So go get your hat, use that as leverage to gain some experience to help you level, which is pretty cool.
In your rep too.
Yeah, and it boosts your rep, so that's going to be really helpful. You also will need Darkmoon Faire to be able to purchase for an inscriptionist for the trinkets that you can make with the Darkmoon decks. And you'll need to unlock those abilities with, you can unlock rank 2 and 3 from within Darkmoon Faire, but you'll want to go and do that because those are trinkets, and they're really nice trinkets.
You can sell those too, right? Those are always mad banks or at the start of the expansion.
You can sell the individual cards as well. I made a lot of money in last expansion and Mystic Pandaria off just the cards.
Yeah. Because there's always a card someone will not have, and it just takes forever to get that damn card. We did
a profession and reputation guide on the PDQ, so make sure you guys check that out. But the profession guide,
it is quite the guide.
The profession guide will tell you how to acquire all the things that you need, what you need, mats, all that stuff. Pretty deep, giggity. So. Before we talk about some things regarding Legion, let's talk about this infographic. So they posted this infographic, and this basically talked about some stats that they wanted to hit us with. So for the Legion pre-expansion, for the events, everything that occurred from the pre-patch to the launch of Legion, 155 million times heroes fought in demon invasions. 155 million times.
That's all.
2.5 million demon invasions repelled. That means completion. Wow. So 2.5 million invasions were completed. Holy shiitake.
Mushrooms.
3.9 million demon hunters were created. Fun fact. 3.9 million demon hunters were created.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's gross.
3.9 million. Okay, this is in the millions, guys.
That's like accounts.
That's crazy. Some of you might have 20 demon hunters on your account. I don't know. That's a lot.
I know people that have like 10 warlocks and 10 everything else. So.
Well, you know how many people are subscribed usually, right? So that's
a lot. Well, and people, I mean, this was I'm curious to see what their numbers are after the launch of Legion. Their quarterly numbers. 1.7 million dungeon runs with 4 demon hunters in the dungeon run. I thought that was neat because that just shows
how many people wanted to be a fucking demon hunter.
Demon hunter. You get a demon hunter. We all get demon hunters. Yep. So 4, that's basically 3 heals, a tank, and then, or 3 DPS, a tank, and then a healer that's not
a healer.
Hunter.
Thanks for breaking that down, Val. I mean,
Gemma, sometimes I'm not sure if you're alive or awake, so I just want to make sure.
Got him.
Zing.
And you caught the insult this time. So sad.
I usually catch
when they start to learn
he was paying attention today.
Yeah, when they start to learn your sly little ways of getting in there and hitting them with that little zinger, it's kind of sad. 536,000 demon hunters in Battlegrounds.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
that was their that was their infographic stats. I thought that was really nice because they were really happy with those stats, and I thought that was important that they were happy with it because I think they probably had numbers in mind. Now let's talk about Legion.
Ooh.
Let's talk about the expansion launch.
It's pretty good.
I don't know about you guys.
Some
I was there.
kind of special.
I was there for launch. The most smooth transition I have ever seen ever in the history of everything. Literally, like everything. Ever.
Everything.
It was a quick reload, and you didn't have to log out. It was a quick reload. You got your quest. You did your things. You seen your experience bar. Some people did experience a little bit of buggy, a little bit of issues, but no disconnects, no lag, no...
I was actually very impressed because of that. Compared to last expansion, like that was a big deal that I was concerned about. No, not today. What
I was most excited about is they didn't make us wrong, right? Especially me. I've been lobbying this whole time, like super positive vibes. And I've been literally like, guys, can we just give them a break? They're going to redeem. It's going to be fine. I'm really glad because there were people that said, hey, when Blizzard sucks, you're going to eat your words. And I'm like, okay, I'm really happy that they didn't make me have to be like, just kidding, guys. Tell me what your guys' thoughts were. Who was on for expansion? Like for the actual launch?
I was on.
Everybody was on, right?
I went to bed like...
You stayed up the whole freaking night and then went to bed right before it started.
Because I looked at it like in case there was, and I was just tired. Like I didn't want to just like half-ass it for an hour and a half. I wanted to wake up, be fresh, and just go ham. I woke up at like 11 a.m. and Asmongold was already 110. I'm like, you're crazy. Lycan hit pretty 110 pretty fast. I had fun. I was sick. Took a couple days off and went hard and got my max level.
I didn't want to level quickly, but I didn't want to level slowly. I wanted a really good pace. I don't have judgment for those that level fast or those that level slow. Level all you want. It's your money. It's your $15. If you want to level in 6 hours and be max, do what you want to do. That's your bucks you're spending. It's not for us to judge how you play. I wanted to go at a normal pace, and I wanted to, in beta, I didn't pay attention to the storylines. I didn't even have the sound on in beta. That was strictly data, right? I was strictly in there for a purpose for PWNCAST.
Right.
What a whole difference it makes with the audio, right? The way that they did your interaction with NPCs is beautiful. Like, it's really...
It was pretty.
What's the immersion is the word I'm looking for, right? The questing was smooth.
It immersed you actually into the story.
Yeah, like, so let's talk about what your guys' favorite elements so far of Legion are, now that we've experienced it, not in beta and live. And let's start with you. What are some of your favorite elements of Legion?
Asuna was fun. Just getting in there and messing around. Valshara, I think I have to say, was probably my favorite. I cried twice. And I'm not going to go into why, but for those who've played the area, I like I said,
man.
Yeah, and the same thing with you through beta. Messing around with there, I really didn't follow the storyline. But this time, I leveled pretty quickly, but I wanted to hear the storylines. I wanted to hear everything that was going on and experience it for myself as it was live. And
right,
I knew it was going to happen. I knew when it was going to happen, and I still cried.
Tears.
So, yeah.
A lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people got really choked up with a lot of these things that we've been through in the zones.
High Mountain was fun, but it's not for me.
One false move off a fucking cliff and you're stuck in a hole.
You don't like the Canadian Torrens?
No, I don't like the Canadian Torrens.
And for as long as it took me to find that stupid Iron Enclave just to finish my mining quest that you have to do in there, and you're right, I think I died 50 million times. One point I ended up in Suramar City because I jumped off a cliff and I went, oh shit, that's a far drop, and hit my goblin glider. And
when you end up in Suramar and you res, there is an NPC who's not friendly standing on your dead body by the graveyard, and he kills you every time you res. So you spend 30 minutes trying to figure out how the fuck you're going to get out of there. So what you do is you keep dying farther and farther away from the res point so that you can at some point finally get far enough away to be hidden so that you can hearth out of there. That happened to me, and it was awful.
I have not corpse run in a long time, and I got my workout on that one. It was a pretty flight as I'm flying down there. Wow, this is beautiful. I'm watching the timer click down from 2 minutes, and I had about 10 seconds left, and I went, oh, I'm dead. So I just right-clicked the buff, fell to my death, and it took me a while to get out of that one, but yeah. I'm very impressed though with the way they handled the loot this time, or not the loot, but the way you access certain quest items. So,
Right.
if there's a guy standing there, like I was doing the one in Stormheim today, where you have to release him from the electrical prisons, which I'm not giving anything away because it's like the first quest you do in there, and somebody ran up to click it, and I started walking away thinking this was pre-Legion, going, "Oh crap! Now I got to go find another one," and he's still standing there.
Yeah.
I
I super appreciate that finally. Thank God.
Shareable nodes when it comes for quest items and for gathering professions as well is really it's a really nice element, especially when it comes to the piles of poop that they make you dig through, which we'll talk about that later because I want to move on to Jimma Banks and talk about what his favorites were of Legion. What have you enjoyed this week?
Oh my gosh, everything. I had a blast. I also wanted, like, not necessarily take my time, but just enjoy it. And then I think it took about three days to hit max level, but all of the above, like the zones, we've gone over the zones a bunch of times, so I'm not going to give any new information. Now that I'm 110, the world quest, even though I'm delayed a little bit with getting to enjoy some of the content with making the pet battle guides, I got back into that, and then also playing a little horde with my friend that came back. So I just love the expansion. It's just a good time. Legion's great. I don't have any complaints really, just maybe some questions, but I loved everything, all of the above. Like nothing specific or anything, but
that works.
Sauce, what about you? I know you haven't, there's so a lot you haven't, but I'm sure you at least have some things that you're pretty excited about.
Well, I finally got to play. I was on for launch, kind of took my time into it on secret, and I was actually supposed to level with your brother, and somehow his DK quest line kind of glitched out, so I kind of got stuck essentially waiting for him.
He found out it was an add-on later. Which what we do, and we disable, right, guys? We click the disable button on our add-ons. My brother, he's something else. Yeah, it was an add-on.
Yeah. So I just slowly leveled. I leveled Holy, big mistake because it takes you half an hour to kill a rare.
Yeah, that's not a good time.
I mean, there's a pro and con. So I'm so used to playing on the PvP server that I was created on Skullcrusher, and I was so ready to get ganked.
Right?
And then you didn't. Nobody bothered you. You were left alone.
No, like I kept waiting. Like it happened during Warlords. I had like 6 people try to kill me, and I was in full siege, like heroic gear, and they couldn't kill me. They probably hated me in that damn little cave. So I was just waiting. Every cave I went into, I'm anticipating the gank, and it's just it's in the nerves, like it's in my blood, and never happened. So I was confused for the like 8 hours that I was playing, but yeah, like Lycan said, seeing that he clicked something, it's still there, super big deal. I mean, we've been, for a lot of us that have played a long time, you're just so used to waiting for the thing to respawn, or this or that, or the nodes, or whatever you want to do. And I appreciate that so much, especially like when I start leveling professions. That's going to be a huge like time saver and whatnot. So far I'm happy. I'm not happy that I'm not 110 yet, but maybe by tomorrow I'll be there.
No rush, really.
Even Darknado's 110. So
man, that was a tough. It was a tough thing.
I don't have an answer for it, except that my life's owned by my work, and it's fine.
What about you, Belle? What did you like?
Well,
I know. She liked everything.
What I love most is what we've talked about over this last year, and it's going through and watching people be so excited in guild chat, and seeing the social media, and seeing my feed filled with World of Warcraft things and not other games, right?
You've been waiting for that. So.
I just really enjoyed redemption. That's what life is about, guys. It's about redemption. It's about you can make mistakes and it be okay. And we've been through so much with Blizzard, even just this last year. It was so nice to see everybody's renewed faith. I love the renewed faith that people have in Blizzard now, and it's good for us because we've been the cheerleaders, guys. Hi, stay with us, we're okay. And now
it's gonna work out.
Watching people experience it, seeing the people in chat, and just seeing their reactions to things and their excitement, and they're giving away spoilers, not meaning to, but they just want to talk about things that are exciting to them. seeing the servers full of people and seeing
the guilds full of people.
Even seeing anal chat in trade chat was exciting, right? Because
that's nothing new.
It's
that's
new
always...
life breathed into a game that we fear dies, right? We fear at the end of every expansion, we're like, God, this is just going to be the end of us. So redemption really is the key word, and I think it's really been the theme, even in my personal life lately, is just the starting new and building a new path to a good future. So my favorite elements, of course, was, I don't even have to tell you Suramar. I've been talking about Suramar literally for like a year. I am obsessed. I log in, I go and I run around Suramar, and that's my happy place. But I would have to say my favorite thing of all time is the Murloc questline. I loved being a Murgle, and I was really excited.
That was in High Mountain, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
No. Stormheim.
But
Was it in Stormheim? I don't remember.
High Mountain is very north.
Yeah.
You're right.
I was in voice chat when you were doing that, and you
I was so happy. That was literally being a Murloc was my favorite thing ever. It was.
That's funny
because you got to do the March of the Murlocs, and all these little tiny Murlocs ran. That's my favorite.
Hell yeah.
Quest line so far in general is that one. But the detail, the attention to detail that Blizzard put in Legion, and they catered to everybody here. You have the people that want fast gratification. Well, great, there's things that you can go do, world quests that are instant gratification. You go do, kill some shit, farm some shit, do some shit, and you got shit. Like, literally, they've catered to people that want more difficulty. Mythic Keystones, now you can continue to grow your power and be more difficult. Mm-hmm. They've literally catered to every element of player here.
Right.
And if I was an RPer, I would really be in heaven, because the interaction with the NPCs is just bar none. The talking heads thing still creeps me out, but the audio interaction, it's more immersive. You feel really good being there.
That is the next step for you, though, is RPing. I don't
know how to RP. I would be really bad at it. Size.
Well, it's like
loudly,
but it's like WoW. Look at you now. You're the boss lady.
That Moonguard night was a one-time thing, and I was naked in Moonguard, RP walking through Goldshires
with a dog.
And you were Pwn Daddy. You were doing big things there with
Pwn Daddy.
With his little nasty self. He had a girl on each arm. You can't leave him alone for 5 minutes at all, literally. It was just chicks. I was like, what are you doing with these girls? And then you got Secret Sauce, his tune's Fellatio. He's over there giving BJs for two silver. And I'm like, that's not even going to buy you a Griffin ride. Can you at least make it a gold? He was doing a good job, though.
You got to start small, you know?
And he was getting into it. I still don't know if that gentleman is aware of who you were. But one day when you're going to be super famous, somebody's going to be like, I got a BJ from that guy one time.
From Danger Dave.
I was being very dangerous that night. There was no safe sex at all.
There was no.
You know what I do like, though? And this is something compared to, but Warlords of Draenor, what we experienced a week after that. A week after Warlords dropped, we were all 100. We've all done our garrison stuff, and we're sitting there going,
what now?
What do we do now?
Yep.
And it's now a week after Legion's dropped, and there's still so much left to do.
Everybody's everywhere, and we're going to talk about that after this. We're going to talk about just some things for focal points, because you guys are going to need to rein yourselves in, because with the professions, I want to get on all my alts right now and start doing that, because those professions are lengthy. It's money making. It's the time. But you're right. I think that there's literally so much to do that I don't know what to do. I'm just standing in the middle of Dalaran, like, I got this here, this here, this here. They've given, and this is going to be constant. You guys asked for more. We got more. A lot more.
Truth.
So yeah, no, I'm going to have to agree with you. So that's a good segue. Let's talk about some of the focuses that you guys are going to need to have. Now, the focus will change according to whether or not you PvP, if you PvE, or maybe you just you're paced at your own pace. You don't really do any of those. Maybe you do some LFR. There's going to be some focus here. So when your ultimate focus is for getting max level, isn't for raiding, it isn't for PvP, it's to unlock them world quests, because that's really where the fun stuff's going to begin, is when you could do those world quests. Now, the world quests, you have to have friendly with every faction. It's important to note that as long as you complete all the storylines with each zone, you'll be friendly with everything except for Suramar, which is the Nightfallen, by the time you're max level. Then at max level, you're going to go see the Mountain of Death, and you're going to go to that beautiful city where everybody's dying and everything's not awesome, and you're going to progress to get friendly there. 2 quest lines in to Suramar, and this isn't Suramar City, this is just the outskirts of Suramar, then you'll be able to get your friendly.
Yeah, it was very quick.
Yeah, it was super easy. Once you do that, it's important. The world quests are not just going to magically appear. You have to go see Khadgar, and you have to do your business with Khadgar. He'll give you a fancy little whistle. This little whistle has been my saving grace when my Hearthstones are on cooldown. The little whistle is on a 5-minute cooldown, and it ports you, and it takes you to the nearest flight master that you know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it takes you to the nearest flight master, but it has to be a flight path you know. If you haven't discovered that flight path, it's going to take you. It'll take you to the next one that's close to you. So, Khadgar's whistle's amazing. It comes and a little bird picks you up and takes you and drops you off at the.
I'm going to use it right after the show.
And have you guys noticed that when you take a flight path, it's your mounts?
Yes.
I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah, it's a different mount each time. I was on my rocket one time and I was like, what the is happening here? Yeah, it's your mount.
Invincible too.
They pull the mounts from your collection.
Yeah.
Is it your favorite ones or just any of them?
I don't know. I don't think the ones I was on are marked as my favorites.
Okay.
So
I mean, it's understandable.
Yeah, but it was pretty nice that happens. So world quests are going to be a huge focus. The reason is because you get resources, you get gear, you get profession things, you get artifact power, relics, anything in the world you can get here. You can also get legendaries, which we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to do your world quest. That's going to really be, they're different from dailies because they're on a duration versus an everyday thing. You do your emissary quests. I did a really good reputation guide on what you guys need to maximize your reputation so you can start purchasing items from the emissary vendors, which I've logged those coordinates. Everything's in that guide for you. So you're going to want to focus on that. Artifact weapon is your main focus. This should be where all your hard work goes. If you plan on using your power is your artifact. You're going to get to a point where it's going to be like 30k freaking artifact power to upgrade to unlock a slot. I did an artifact trait and relic guide which shows you how to do your things, how you socket, how your socket, your relic, how you unlock your traits. It literally tells you everything you need to know. So if you don't know, get in the know, learn how to use it. What you want to look at the best path for the
use
talents,
it correctly too.
Traits. Yeah, don't just go willy-nilly plugging shit away. Your relics, it's important to note that if you whatever relics you have socketed in there, if you put a new relic over that, it's gone. Just like with your jewel, when you socket a jewel, that jewel's gone. They don't give it. They're not going to put it back in your bag and be like, "Here, thanks for your business." That's gone.
I mean, I would. Well, no, it's an artifact, so it really.
And when you socket your relics, you need to pay attention to your item level. Make sure you're not backtracking because you'll get a relic that won't be the item level that's in there, and you'll go lower on the eye level poll. Yeah. So make sure it's always an upgrade.
Well, not only that too, but if you actually make a mistake and you pick the wrong trait as you're going down through your thing, it does not refund 100% of it.
No.
So,
and your path on your weapon's important. Right. You're going to want to have a game plan when you get your weapon and look and say, okay, these are my order of priority, so I need to go. You need to do the in betweens in order to be able to unlock it, and you have to unlock all the ranks to be able to make the.
That's why I waited to spend artifact power until I was comfortable on what I should do.
For sure. If you're still leveling, save your resources. Save your order hall resources. Only do the missions you absolutely have to do until you're max level. You're going to need
for the artifact power to start.
You're going to need 40,000 resources along the way for your order hall, because by the time you upgrade to the final version of your order hall with all the knowledge that you have to learn for your order hall, you're going to spend 40k in resources. Then you use your resources for your artifact knowledge, which unlocks things for your weapon, and that's 2,000 a shot. So you want to make sure that you're.
Well, the first one was 100. The second one, because I just did the second one, was 500.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I figured, and that's fine.
So you want to bank. Only do missions at your mission board before 110 that you have to do. If there's some random XP ones, or if there's something you absolutely have to do for a quest. But I'm really glad that I saved mine because I had 16,000 resources when I went and started to do my things at 110, and I used almost all of it. So it's a good rule of thumb to save that.
Yeah. I mean, for me right now, Belle, it's I'm 106. I have 9k, so
that's perfect.
Yeah. So I'm not really spending it. I'm really only using the resources on the artifact power.
You'll get a ton from World Quest too. You'll be able to revamp
you'll get a ton from just in general. So it's not really a big deal.
And treasures too. As you're going through, download an add-on that shows you where the treasures are, and go find the stuff.
Handy notes.
Yep.
I almost didn't download that, and everyone that was leveling in the guild was talking about it, and I said, how do I not, right? What a good decision I made at 102 to get handy notes. Good call.
Yeah, handy notes is really good with the Legion rares. Also, for your
Yes.
world quests, there's an add-on called World Quest List. Google it on Curse. It is beautiful. It condenses, so it takes all of your world quests on each map and it puts a summary next to it. So you don't
that's
have to
pretty sweet.
hover over each icon on the world quest map. You can just see everything. And then if you right click on that, it'll show every world quest, and it'll start with gear, and then it'll go down of order of importance. Resources,
why I watched
artifact,
this show.
weapon. It literally made my life amazing. Now, it doesn't work for everybody in the sense of some people, the way you guys do your UIs, it might be too big, giggity.
Right.
So you'll just want to download it and test it. It's World Quest tracker list, I think. I'll put the link. The link will be down here when we upload the episode. I'll also put it in the comments of the iTunes section. World Quest tracker list will be the name of the add-on. It's a beautiful thing. And when you hover, gives you all the same information, duration, tooltip, but it puts it in one spot versus you having to hover over everything on the World Quest map to find what you need. So take advantage. World Quest, guys. World Quests.
My life's so boring for the world quest because I look for the pet battle ones to record, and it just takes so much time.
And now you can just get an add-on and be happy about it.
Pretty much.
Order Hall is another focal point that you're going to want to put into. Hand in hand along with your profession. So your order hall and your professions are going to be in equal likeness because your professions are going to make you money. Now your order hall, not everybody knows this, but there is a quartermaster in everybody's order hall, and they have a class specific 8-piece set. That 8-piece set is fucking sweet. So make sure you go hover
And you can
over,
upgrade it too and all that stuff too.
hover over the items, see what you need. I got my helmet, upgraded that bad boy to, I think it's 830. It is freaking beautiful. But you get a set 2, 4, 6, and 8, you get a different bonus for having that, and it's your class specific. It's your personal gear. Obviously,
Okay, that's cool.
Obviously, later down the line, you'll get stuff if you're a raider, but it's transmog stuff, and the warlock one is pretty sick. It's like a patchwork. It's like a patchwork helmet that's got like Illidan horns. It's so awesome.
Oh, really? Pretty sweet.
And a lot of people don't know that quartermaster exists, but hover over a lot of it's reputation based and unlocking things like completing your warlock quest campaign or your not warlock but regular
your
whatever
class.
Whatever class you are. I'm never going to be not a warlock.
Talking to first person, check you out.
So
there are more classes out there outside of World. Just to let you know.
It does exist outside of that. So take advantage of that, guys, because that 8-piece set is pretty freaking sweet. And it can be upgraded to, I think, right now it'll go to 840. And 840 right now because there's 3 upgrade tokens you can buy once you unlock. You unlock the first 2 really easily, and then the third one. And it's with gold. Some of it's it's not like 1,000,000 gold, but...
Median.
Right. It's not Dr. Evil, 1 trillion, but it's a little bit of money. But
right.
And do your professions in tandem while you're questing, while you're leveling, while you're gearing, while you're doing world quests. Plan accordingly. See what world quests you have in the area you have to go for questing. In case you guys haven't noticed, professions are all about quests. That's all of your things are discovered. Some of them you can buy, but 90% of it is through they've made it interactive professions. So it's pretty much like going to work. You might as well say you're gainfully employed with your inscription store or your tailoring thing because you are tied to that. There's a Dalaran Forge that you can build. Trial by Fire is what it's called. You have to have a lot of elements there. That'll allow you to break down your Legion crafted gear for Obliterum, which will upgrade your crafted gear. So you have to break it to make it.
That's what everyone's been talking about in the chat.
And that's one thing I want to talk about is the guild has band together and they're all making a ton of items. Each profession's making a set of items so that it can be given to the guildies so they can go and build their forge. It's really nice that the guildies are doing that. But go see the profession guide. It'll tell you everything that you guys need to know. But do your order hall and your profession and your world quest all at the same time. Because you'll have campaigns that you'll do in your order hall that will take you out into the world. The world quest will be there in whatever zone you land in to do those. And then also your professions will land you all over the map. So why not do 3 in 1 while you're on the map? Just to kind of help you perspective, right? So you're not like, shit, I got this, this, and this. Map it out accordingly. Say, oh, okay.
That's great feedback. Sorry to interrupt, because that's the one thing I didn't do on the monk was the leatherworking and enchanting as I leveled.
Yeah.
Right to Azuna where I started, right? So great.
It's good to have a little bit of perspective so you're not literally like, it can be overwhelming. I had a lot of people be like, I'm just so overwhelmed. Even my husband was he's like, I don't know what to do. Just focus. It's going to be okay. Just let's prioritize.
I'll get an artifact weapon on every character I have. Go.
No, he literally logged in and acquired the artifact weapon on every single toon he has, and then would log back over. And I'm like, hello? Can you maybe not? And he's like, there's so much. Okay, focus on one and then move on.
Well, and professions are different as well, right? So that's why that's a great tip. Usually you just get the mats and you do it. And you did call me, we're friends outside of the show as well. She referred to me as like a crackhead selling my desk so quickly. No, but your voice, I'll explain, because your voice came into my head as well as I was selling more of it. So
I called him a crackhead pawning all of his stuff because we were in Zoom and he was like, oh, I got this recipe. It's rank 3. I'm going to sell it. And I'm like, you're going to need it. Why don't you just say? He was literally like going
so I learned the recipes, but the dust itself as well. I was selling the dust while it was expensive at the start of the expansion. But then, but you got to remember when weekends hit, prices always go even higher. So even though I made a profit, it was even higher on the weekend. And Belle's voice said, "You're such a."
So I was
you're
like,
a crackhead, homie.
I was like, you're literally pawning everything you own. Don't worry, you'll get it back later.
That's what I said. I'm like, I'll get it later. Don't worry.
Oh my god.
Oh, I died because that literally, and everybody was like, "Dude, he totally is." Oh, yeah, he pretty much is. It was funny.
Yeah.
But
he knows he is.
Well, make your gold while you can, while things are so high, right? But there's certain things you'll need.
And save a horse, ride a cowboy, right? Why sell something you know you're going to need later? You're going to need later.
Well, my response to that was, if it was the dust, if I sell it for, say, 40 gold a pop, 50 gold a pop, later when I buy it for 10 gold a pop, it's
but you won't need to buy it if you just keep it.
Right, but I can buy double the amount, so you got to understand it's like pets, right? So if I sell, say,
it's like drugs. You can buy it at a price and sell it for double the amount. That's
so I'm selling all the big bag of drugs in little grammars and selling them out, and all my money I'm going back to re-up and buy more.
Now you guys know what he does for a living because he totally just spoke drug dealer.
He's a street pharmacist.
You break it down, but then you buy more, and you know prices fluctuate. Let's move on to the next topic.
I can't even deal with you right now. You're reminding me of the Nightborn with their ancient mana obsession. You're too professional with the mic. I can't deal with all that professionalism. It's starting to give me a tan. You're very bright, shining bright like a diamond. So the last part of what's important to focus on is obviously we play this game, focus on the story. Each quest is part of a bigger story.
Yeah.
The element I loved here is they removed cinematics from beta. So I got to experience everything I experienced brand new because thank you so much for them removing that because it didn't get ruined. I would mute Zoom and be like, oh, cinematic, I got to listen to this. Pay attention to the story that they're telling. There's a lot of lead-ins that we don't really know what they mean, but they could mean something. And it's lurking in the most oddest places where you wouldn't think would be some type of a tell of what's this. There's some things that happen in a cave I'm not going to talk about, but I was really like, oh, interesting. So let's pay attention to the storyline and really, each quest does tell a story, and it's just like previous questing, but it's really, really important to enjoy that story because it's fun, and hats off to the storytellers. These stories and the way that things have unfolded it's more engaging to me than it's ever been. I don't do lore. The only lore I know is what Lycan tells me. So I don't do lore. It's nice for someone who doesn't know that background to feel good about enjoying that story. Before, when I would quest, I didn't really care about the story. It was just a means to an end, right? Questing was leveling. But I really enjoyed the elements there. So absorb the storyline. If you're not max level, keep going. Keep, going at your pace. Complete out an entire zone and feel good about that. Suramar's the best storyline in my opinion, but you guys know how I feel about that. So let's talk about that. What is your guys' favorite, without no spoilers here, but what is your favorite story that was told so far in Legion?
I don't have one because I really haven't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just trying to get to 110 as fast as possible on this character.
You're just trying to do the thing.
Lore Master Lycan, you want to field that one?
Right.
I know. I guess are you trying not to spoil because
I'm trying not to spoil it, but I would have to say Xavius in Valshara.
I'll agree with that. That was a really good story. I appreciated that. The run was really nice too. The when you did the
runs.
No, not having the runs. That's never fun. That's never a good time.
Those are the best.
The dungeon, one of the bosses in the dungeon made me really sad because of something they say when you kill them. But it was really well made. I do really like the. I actually have a question for you. So I talked a little bit about this with Remedy because he's the other lore person, right? So I wanted to understand, obviously with the corruption there, it's a different type of corruption because it's red. It's blood. There's what corruption is that actually there? Can maybe I get an explanation?
The nightmare corruption.
That's what Remedy said. He did say there's the Emerald Dream and then there's the offset of the Emerald Nightmare. But where did the nightmare corruption come from originally? From somebody who's new? Somebody was just like, "You're a nightmare." Boom, I corrupt you. What was the like?
Boom.
If I'm not mistaken, again, and you're putting me on the spot here because it's been a while since I've actually gone through the whole Malfurion and the Emerald Nightmare part, but I want to say it was Xavius himself.
So he began the possibly. Well,
all right. So that's it. There's an old god.
He's like, I don't even know where to start.
I know it's so hard to actually go through it because Xavius was the first of the satyrs or satyrs or however you pronounce it. It's the half goat looking guys with the
right.
And he has a special connection to an old god, which is Enzoth. And we really didn't get to see a lot about Enzoth in game. We know that he's there, but really didn't see much in game. That's why a lot of people were actually upset whenever Enzoth came into Hearthstone before he actually came into World of Warcraft.
Right.
And it was Enzoth that actually created the Emerald Nightmare, and it's there's a whole thing about it, and there's actually where Malfurion goes in, he drives back the Emerald Nightmare, they beat it back. The only thing that's left over, I think it's called a chasm. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the chasm that's left. And it was one little section that they could not heal. And this is where Xavius has been hiding out from what we understand.
So it's corrupted, and it's not a fell corruption. It's just, corrupted by the nightmare.
By the old gods.
Okay.
By Enzoth.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense. And I'm not going to talk too much in detail. Once a month has passed and people have had time to go through this, there's a lot of elements I have a lot of questions on that we're going to be able to have you get into, because there's a lot of stuff where I'm just like, wait, what?
Yeah, so, I mean, because the more, depending on what I talk about, will actually give away a lot with what's going on with Valshara. And I don't, like you said, I don't want to do spoilers quite yet.
Want to give it 30 days. 30 days for people to get in, get out, do the thing, cha-cha, boom, boom.
Well, it's great for me because you guys like and will tell us stuff that I didn't even know I had questions or did not know. So that's what I get out of it.
Right, and I can do a big write-up, and that should be one of the things we do is discuss what the Emerald Nightmare was and what actually happened with that whole nightmare and Malfurion and Enzoth and why this is all very important to what's going on now,
and how it relates to what the way we're, because they're working for the Legion essentially. Because when you're going through the zones, they're saying we're I don't fucking know, some shit about we're bound to the Legion or where we serve you was some shit somebody said, and I was like, no, you serve us. We're the champions. We have the artifact weapons. I don't know who you think the boss is, but it ain't them. Right. It's us. So I was I've done a lot of talking back to these NPCs. The when you're going through the Suramar stuff and they say a lot of not English stuff, and I can pretty much speak
Suramarian,
either Sumerian or Nightfallen-ish.
Let's say the Nightfallen.
But I can speak there, and if you're on a comm with me when I'm playing, I do a lot of talking back to the NPCs. I was cussing out that fucking little girl from Suramar last night because she got me killed twice, little brat.
Oh yeah, I think I caught the tail.
I was really pissed. But that little girl's so cute. So, I wanted to give you guys a condensed, what you should be focusing on. Keep to PDQ. doing guides as I have the means, and I've gotten as much as I'm going to be doing the hidden artifact. Each artifact has a hidden appearance and a means to acquire that. I'm working on that guide right now. Hopefully I'll have it up in a couple days, but make sure you have the PwnCastDailyQuest.com actually bookmarked, because I put up a lot of guides up there, and it's
You
take
sure
a look.
have.
I did world quests. I mean, literally a guide for guide for guide. There's a lot of people that
How
do
to turn
guides.
your PC on quests, how to subscribe to
Right.
World of Warcraft
But
quests.
there's a lot of people that are doing guides. Now, there's some things I can't do. For quest information, that's still going to be Wowhead's going to be your go-to, guys. It just is what it is. I don't data mine. And because we don't data mine, I can't, there's no way I can log every single quest and be able to have a life. So, and items. There's going to be things that Wowhead's always going to be the go-to, but I do like our guides because I do break them down in a non-convoluted manner. They're all tabbed out, so you can easily go and get what you need. But
Right.
go to Wowhead for their flying, because you can start the beginning parts of the Pathfinder, and because they're going to roll out the Pathfinder in pieces, and then they said, what did they say? Halfway through the expansion, or maybe a little more than halfway. They haven't really committed to any kind of a number, but they did say more than halfway through the expansion we'll be able to unlock flying completely. But you'll want to
Yes.
work on your Pathfinder stuff, because most of that you're going to do naturally in the progression of leveling. Since you want to clear every zone, that's part of what's needed there to do that. So make sure you go to Wowhead, and I think it's... What did I'm trying to find what the actual, it's, just go to Wowhead and search for Broken Isles Pathfinding, how to unlock, and it'll take you where you need to be in that regard. So that's pretty much what we had for the news. That's what we had as far as Legion's concerned. As we're progressing, everybody will, Jimmo will be talking about pet battles. Sauce is going to help you with getting raiding ready to go. I'm going to be covering your PvP as well as other random things, right? Random things that you guys are going to need to know moving forward. And
That's
then
right.
Lycan's going to have your back with the lore and more diving deeper into the story element of what we're looking for World of Warcraft. So be looking, because that's going to be how we're going to really break it down each week as far as the information that you guys are going to need. So let's talk about our week in WoW. I mean, let's talk about what we did. Obviously, we leveled, but let's talk about some fun stuff. Give me some stories of things you found that was interesting to you, a funny quest line or something. Like, and what did you do this week outside of leveling? What fun stuff did you do?
Outside of leveling and watching bears shit in the woods, the thing I think I was most excited for, and this is why I chose Azuna to go through first, I got my engineering goggles already.
Did you?
I was going to ask you about it. Tell us.
I was online that's when we were talking about it, right? Remember,
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, they're just goggles. And he's like, but they have
No.
lasers.
They
And
got
I'm like,
laser.
what?
What? So
Yeah,
what?
Little laser pointers, you turn around and look, and then it shoots little things. And the engineering shit is awesome. I got little turrets I could put down on the ground that actually
Yeah,
look like
those are pretty cool.
like the World War II battleship turrets that you get behind. You sit them down on the ground, they shoot shit, and it all of the stuff that I've known profession wise, because I've always been an engineer on Lycan, and I don't think I will ever change that. The secondary professions, I like the idea that I can switch back to it now.
Right, yeah.
Go from mining to, say, blacksmithing later on down the line. I can always go back to mining if I have to, but the engineering, not perks, because that's kind of a bad word to say, but the little things.
Fun. The toys.
Yeah.
And it's cool. The aesthetics are nice. The quest lines are fun, and I don't know. I think I'm having more fun playing around with engineering than anything else.
Well, when you brought up your engineering earlier, I wanted to ask you right away, and I'm glad you brought it up, because that's, now that I'm leveling my hunter, he's an engineer and always has been, and I wanted the goggles. I know it can't be huge amounts of damage, but there's DPS from the goggles, right? Like it hit.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah, it does. It
There's
does.
a rocket thing you can shoot out of it.
It's every minute, right?
I believe so.
I
Every
think
minute or
it's-
every two.
It can't incur more than once every 60 seconds, if I remember the tooltip correctly.
Well, it's an on-use item too,
Right.
so it's not like.
Oh, it's on use. It's not a prep.
Right. You can
Okay.
macro that into an ability.
I want it so bad.
Before.
That sounds hot.
Yeah, before you used to be able to only do the Farsight thing with it, and that was it.
Right.
Now it's actually you shoot rockets out of your.
What about Reeves? Tell me if you've made your progress with Reeves, because that's something that I wanted to talk about.
No. That's like the new Jeeves, right?
So it's the new Jeeves except on crack. You can get mail.
Yes.
It can feed you. It can do your repairs. It can.
That thing's awesome.
That's why I watched the
teleport
show.
you.
What?
There's like 6 different modules. If you look at the Legion Profession Guide under engineering, I broke it down.
It's Molly. It's
everything.
everything.
Everything in
all
one
connected.
stop shop.
I am stuck on the second part of Reeves, which is the one for the feeding.
Like Keanu Reeves.
Although the snack module, right?
The snack module only because I have to get all of you got Nomi through Pandaria, and it was a little guy that you came around with a little dinner bell, and you had to train. Well, now he does like work orders for.
You have to work orders or what unlocks your cooking. Yep.
But here's the problem: I need the feasts just to.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice element. Actually, I'm going to talk about when you're done with that.
Yeah, I've looked on the auction house forum. I mean, I haven't looked since Friday.
I have some crafters in the guild that are working on the feast, so hold tight.
Yeah, as soon as I can get the feast, then I can move past the snack module and move on to the rest of it. But yeah, Reeves is...
He's a toy. Would it show up like an item? Like you can use him on other characters as well?
He's a robot, and it takes a battery. You have to have a battery in order to be able to pop him out, and the batteries are super. It's like 2 mats. Only 2 mats you need for the batteries.
Right.
And
that's not bad then.
The module attaches to the one Reeves, and when you pop him out, he's a one-stop shop for everything you need once you have all the
Which is
modules.
awesome.
And it's for everybody, right? Or is it just
Right, but Molly, the mailbox, and then like the Blingtrons became toys. Is Reeves?
Right.
Like, if I get it on my Hunter on the Horde side, can I use it on my Monk on the Alliance side?
Oh,
Reeves.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No,
that.
because it's profession specific. It's not
Yeah,
a toy.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
So
the Reeves is only
maybe next
5 spell state, and that's it. To
Yeah.
summon the battery, it's 5
it's
spell
cheap
state. Okay.
and it replaces everything in one because it'll be your Blingtron, it'll be all those
Right.
things, which is really nice.
works.
I'm excited for engineers.
I am.
When I was doing the profession guide, I was like, holy fuck, they get all the cool shit. I'll just sit over here with my tailoring and craft robes and silk slippers.
Aren't
he
you a
does-
Sailor or Enchanter though?
Who, me?
I have all the
No,
professions. I'm gonna be
No, but
everything.
what's Bell? Is what I'm
Bell
asking.
Bell is tailoring and inscription.
Okay.
She's a scribe because
Yeah, scribe.
I can't wait to get Reeves up to 100% just because
I'm
he does everything. Wormhole generator, Bling
still,
mode.
you
That's
still don't know
gnarly.
where it's going to take you, but it's going to take you
No.
somewhere. There's a Reser. It has a
And
Reser
Echo,
module.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Has a Reser module that will allow you to.
And Lycan was the first one on the show to be max level. You little
I thought Angie was.
On the
show
show.
guild on
Oh,
Pwncast.
sorry. Yeah. No,
yeah.
Angie
went
doesn't get
hard.
kudos for that because she didn't sleep.
No.
She
Then
sure
you
did.
did not kill yourself
She's-
to reach max
She
level.
sounded terrible too.
She really, but I mean, she wanted to do it, and I kudos to
Yeah.
those that were.
Was she like, oh my god, oh my god?
That's a really good impression. Gemma, what did you do this week?
Oh my gosh, I hit 110 on the Monk. I was like, I'm going to catch Lycan. I was telling Bell and Zoom, and I got distracted, and Lycan is the champ. And then, so I hit 112, 110 on my Monk. I leveled as tank, like I said I was going to do, and I saved all the artifact power. So I healed the dungeons when I got the quests. And so far, my 110 life is kind of boring as far as telling you guys what I've done, because really I've only done the Order Hall quest and a lot of the world quests for the pet battles. Now I am going hard like Bell. I'm going to do. I was wondering, how do I get the pet battle content out to the people? There's always the trainers, and there's 2 pet strategies on how to power level your pets. I already know how to do that, and I can tell you how to do that. But the new achievements are how to beat this trainer with all aquatic pets, how to beat this trainer with all mechanical pets. So I'm literally going to have all the things, as Bell would say, and keep pumping out the content on the channel, right? So that distracts me from enjoying the end game content. And then, for shame on me, I played my Hunter, and Marksman is so fun.
It really is fun. I enjoyed
Oh
the
my
rotation. of
gosh, it's
Marksman.
so fun. I did the level 101.
Did you choose for the pet or did you do Lone Wolf? Because I really liked Lone Wolf.
I think I just chose Lone Wolf. I'm pretty sure that's what I chose. Like I did one level in beta as Beastmaster because I was like, oh, all the pets I have. I've got some cool pets, some of the spear beasts, but it's so boring compared to Marksman. Explosive shot, you launch the rocket and detonate it. Like
I loved Marksman.
oh my gosh, that was always my favorite Hunter spec. So I'm glad it's great, and I'm still the Monk. I'm still Riders. I'm still PWNCAST, and I'll be doing a lot of healing coming up and continuing those guides. But
He won't be healing me, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know how he heals. So.
Yeah, I know that's the encouragement as well. I want to tell everyone, I want to show everyone how I heal, because when I came to the guild as my alt, it was an alt, and I geared up, but then I didn't do any max level hard tough content, right? Maybe some RBGs, some minor things, but all of you might have a best friend in WoW. Some of you are currently playing with them.
I do. It's Remedy.
Yeah, he takes care of you. You know what I mean? So like my remedies came back, and he's cooler. He's not as smart. I'll give Remedy the nod smartness wise, but I got my best friend who came back.
Oh, he's smarter than me. Remedy's smarter than me.
Yeah, he's a bright guy. He's a bright guy. And my best friend's smart too, but he's anyways, he's my buddy. He came back, and he's just making fun of me so hard because his druid is max level, and he's like, all right, Jim, let's do some max oh wait, your alliance. Like, he's just digging into me. This is the first expansion where I didn't go as my hunter, and it kills me because I mentioned last week too, I'm on a PvP server. So when you're lower levels, yeah, I got ganked. I got murdered multiple times, and like there was one DK who was 2 levels higher than us, and we didn't kill him because we're questing. It's time to hit 110. But he killed my pet, and my friend same game is laughing at me. He's like, "Oh, you're in so good with the alliance, Jim. You won't kill him for killing your pet. Oh, it's cool. You can just kill your pet because you're max. You're one
called you out, Rick.
Oh yeah. And when you're lower level too, you're only 102. Almost everyone you see in the world is higher level. So maybe when I'm 108, I'll be a little more gutsy, and I will world PvP. But I had a blast leveling. Not to keep yapping about my weeks, but it was so fun. I'm so happy Legion's finally here, and
it's so good to hear people so positive about it.
I know. Yeah, and keep an eye out for those pet battle guides too. They're gonna keep coming out. Warcraft pet battles.
I'm gonna need those. So.
Yes, absolutely. I was also going to ask you, how do we on PDQ get these guides out, right? I mean, one, we've got a beautiful artist who does artwork we might need as well, but how do we do it? I'm thinking like, okay, for the aquatic one.
I think you should do it in sections.
Yeah, I learned a new word, aquatic. Oh, shoot, I'm going to screw it up. Acquiescence. Yeah, I had to YouTube.
I can't even speak broken English or regular English, let alone whatever the fuck you just said.
I had to YouTube it to actually say it properly in the video, but we will put the name of
Assalamu alaikum to YouTube, because that's what I don't
so bad.
That's what I do with the NPCs. The one broad, Malanash Malanori, whatever she says, and I'm like, Assalamu alaikum to YouTube.
Back on the show for one day. Pissing off the Muslims.
All right.
That's not what that is.
I don't know what it is. I just know that she said Malanash Malanori or something to me, and I was like,
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
When I hear her say that, I always hear Mama Si, Mama Sam.
It's so funny.
Oh no.
I don't even know what that's
Secret,
from.
I know it's a kind of a moot point with you because you haven't done a whole lot, but what did you do this week in WoW when you were able to play?
So did launch, slept, did some more launch, slept, woke up, internet was out, Time Warner cable for 3 days. So that's why I really haven't had a chance to really play. Rated at work for 4 days straight. It was terrible. And came home, did the spend time with my lady thing that I have to do every week, and then she understands. She knows I need to start prepping to raid and stuff like that. So so I'm on, and I'm just trying to get to 100, 110. And yeah, I mean, just enjoying it, learning how to heal better, since we have the weapon now and stuff like that, and kind of going the right path. And it's my talent tree that I've been asking for again since they got rid of the talent tree. So I'm enjoying it so far. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see I've got some artifacts on other characters since I really didn't have a lot of time to play specifically on Secret. So I got my swords on Ariana's on my rogue. I got my prop pally set already. So I'm just enjoying it. I'm taking it in for now, just in case, because we may have like 9 priests in the raid team, and I might, I don't mind switching. I do what's best for the guild, and you guys know that. So
I don't switch ever.
No, and that's totally fine. Like, some people are totally okay with it. Angie switched, Cash switched, so a bunch of people are switching.
You will not use her slave name. You will call her Dick because that's her name. Okay.
I'll call her Angela. And she hates that, so it's fine.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god. Don't do
That's
it.
exactly what she sounds like.
But I'll probably get a whisper or something like that. But no, it's fine. But yeah, you guys know I do what's best for the guild. If we need a tank, I'll do it. If heals, DPS, it doesn't matter. So
nice.
It'll just take a long time to gear all these people out. It's not going to be simple anymore. And I appreciate that side of the game now. I want it to be a challenge again. I want it to take time. I want it to not just be like, hey, I just did heroic, blah, 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 and it dropped the best weapon in the game, so now I don't have to ever go back.
Yeah, now I'm done. Job's done.
So they gave that to you at the start of the expansion.
Yeah. They gave it to you, but you have to work for it.
Right, yeah.
You have to earn it, you know. So I'm content.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward to the weeks and the months and hopefully not multiple years on one expansion.
Well,
so yeah.
If they keep doing good patches, I don't
if they keep doing it the way that they're doing it right now, then I'm totally okay with
I'm
it.
in.
So.
Sign me right the fuck up. You can have my $15 every month.
Yo, you need to get ready for raiding, because when that second raid comes out, we need Trinket secret sauce.
He needs to get to level 110
Yeah,
first.
let him max out. So let's so this week in WoW
Yeah,
was,
what did you do, Belle? What was your week?
I had a lot of focus on I knew that the guild was going to be needy, right? So I walked into this expansion.
Did you say meaty or needy?
Well, both. I mean, one doesn't necessarily mean the other, but they do go hand in hand. Giggity. So I knew that there was going to be a lot of what do I do? Where do I go? Now, the content creator in me, right? I was super annoyed because I pre-did this stuff months in advance. I gave them everything they needed to walk into this expansion armed with knowledge, be ready for focal points of what they needed to do for progression. I literally provided everything here. Silver platter, you have all the things you need to be successful. I learned a valuable lesson. The valuable lesson is nobody cares what Belle does. Nobody cares that Belle spent months in beta doing guides. And
That's
doing
not true.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, in the large scale of it, the guild didn't give a shit. They used it and they were happy about it, but they didn't use it to their advantage because the amount of questions, and literally in my responses were, I did a guide about this, here's the link. I did a guide about this, here's the link. It wasn't as a means to be a dick. It's because I already did this information to make it easy for people to find what they needed. So Ella made a meme, and the meme is something about, hey Belle, I can't figure this out. It was a little boy talking to a string, and I'm like, it's on PWNCASTdailyquest.com. But I learned a valuable lesson that just because you put information out there, people like a personal explanation. Sometimes it's easier to give that, explanation. So
some of us don't read well or at all.
Or at all. So we prepped the officers. We had an officer meeting. We had meetings right before so that everybody knew, okay, this is going to be the level of expectation. I know you guys want to progress through the content, but you're going to need to not ignore the guild as well. And I think overall it went off without a hitch. We had a little launch thing in Curse. But my week was spent shoveling through poo. Remedy was my leveling partner. Gemma, you talked about besties in WoW. He would be my World of Warcraft bestie, I guess, if you would have to put a label on that. It's because I'm very frustrating to level with. The reason being is I have kids screaming in the background, and I have husband aggro, and I have teenage aggro, and I have Facebook Messenger aggro, and I have text message aggro, and I have guild aggro, and I have email aggro. I have, at any given moment, I'm being every direction coming.
Yeah. And not to count just all the aggro you pull off the random mobs that's going to kill you as well.
I heard Remedy say that out loud multiple times.
So I was going to talk about that, actually.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm very frustrated. Frustrating to level with, and I know that because he'll have to stop and wait. My kids will be screaming, I have to answer a guildie right now because they can't wait. It's really frustrating to level with me, and I totally get that. And he does it with a smile, and he knows he just plans his time. He'll go and take a poo when I'm doing this so that he can do that. So he doesn't mind. Now, there will be many times when we will make it to the quest giver, and I'll be falling behind a little bit, and he's at the quest giver doing his business, and here I come with 30 people behind me of NPCs. And he'll turn around and be like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh, I brought friends they want to take out.
Oh my gosh.
And there's literally half the map is aggroed to me, and he's just like, I can't, I'm sick of your shit, I can't even deal with it. And then we dug through poop, and that was not a fun experience. Last night he had me jump off a cliff, and he started to say, be careful where you land. Before he finished it, I had already landed in a hole and I was stuck. He literally was like, in the mid-sentence, be careful where you, and then I'm like, I'm stuck. He's like, of course you are.
So, and then he just does that.
Yeah, that's what he does. He instead of getting mad at me, he just huffs, and that's my cue to know that he's frustrated with me because I'm not doing what's needed. But
you guys grinded it. You killed it yesterday as far as like artifact power, right?
Yeah, we did every single world quest that was up and available because I'm focused on the warden. I'm focused on the warden honored and revered. The reason being is there is a special toy that you get from being revered. You can go and loot it in Crimson Thicket. You can't see the chest until you're revered, and I want to be able to do a video on it for the YouTube channel. So, in the Wardens is the hardest to get because you only get it by doing the world quests that are attached to the Wardens and doing the Vault of the Wardens. It's not, you don't progress through the world and get that. So it's, and they give you like 55 rep each thing, and you're like, thanks a fucking heat, Blizzard, for your 55 rep.
It'll be a good guide once it comes out, right? The quicker you get it.
Yeah. The focus is reputation to unlock the things that I need. So what I did most of the end of the week is Suramar. It's important to note that if you don't have any quests popping up in Suramar, it's because you're not at the rep you need to be. Certain reps will trigger the new quest line, so just be aware of that, and if you have any questions on that. But that's what I did. I annoyed Remedy, and
I bet you fucking did.
I still have vacation until Thursday, so he's just, I get him during the week, and his girlfriend gets him on the weekends, which she's a fellow officer and a friend of mine, and she's super understanding about the weekdays and the evening times is bell time, and then the weekends is their time, and I don't interrupt them, which is a lie. I do every weekend. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, you're probably like doing weird shit like cuddling and stuff, because who cuddles? But I love them both dearly, and it's really a change of pace to like I like Secret's significant other, and I like Lycan's, but it's really different for me to like to like spouses.
To like Jim's.
Girlfriends is what I mean, right? Like, you guys came with those girlfriends. Like, I typically like wives, but when one of my friends gets a new girlfriend, I instantly hate them. But I don't hate her, and it's really nice.
Well, I had one, and then I was asked to be on PWNCAST, and I kicked her to the curb because I'm living this life.
Yeah, because you're all naughty Nikki wouldn't like that either.
Sure wouldn't.
Yeah.
To be jealous.
Or the muting when you're drinking and popping your soda open.
Oh, pop it like it's hot.
Sponsorship.
He's doing that, and I black out mine.
Sponsorship.
I have a lovely Tinkerbell. This is what I drink my coffee out of today.
That kind of looks like you.
Ella got me this. Whenever she goes to Disneyland, she always says, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "I want just coffee cups," because
this was earlier, but
I wanted to earlier. I just didn't want to interrupt like I'm doing now.
That's what I normally drink.
Shout out to your writers.
I thought that said colon blow.
Oh no,
colon blow. Yeah.
No, colon blow. I thought is what that said. That
Clear
means
your
something.
system out.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
That's real shit right there.
That's real.
I feel regular.
I eat a lot of cheese, okay? Sometimes you have to take
maybe you need some of that colon blow.
Yeah, no kidding.
I want to say that I think we've pretty much covered all the topics, and I think it's time to wrap it up. I want to welcome back into the show, and I want to say that I was really enjoying the non-live element today. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if there's any questions that you guys have on Legion, please feel free to comment. There's a lot of comments from the last couple weeks that I'm going to be addressing this week. But if you have any questions, just reach out. We're here for you. We're here to help you leverage the PDQ for what you need, and tweet to us whatever you need. That's what we're here for. What's going on?
Nothing.
Oh,
faux show.
I don't know what's happening. It's creeping me out. But
that's going to show you his one eye.
It's odd. Don't even
Not my whispering eye.
Oh, I'm trying to unlock my appearance. That's the whispering eye on my scepter. Anyway, that's for another show or PWNCAST After Dark.
That sure is. That's PWNCAST After Dark.
We are going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to. Look at you. Can do that now. I want to thank you guys.
Learned from Mike. Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for letting us entertain you every week. We are honored, and we appreciate that you guys roll with the changes, you roll with the punches, and you see the growth and passion that we provide in the community. And thank you for letting us do it. And I went super mushy, and I didn't mean to do that. So we're going to snap right back to
but it's okay.
No, we want them in long-term commitment with us.
It is a commitment. We're committing together, guys. You and I, us, we've made it. We're a big happy family.
Let's hold hands virtually.
We're being committed.
We're not being committed. There's a difference between being in a committed relationship and then being committed in your relationship, because sometimes your spouse will commit you, and it happens. That's never happened to me ever in life, ever.
I think Mrs. Lycan's going to do that now that I came back to the show.
I know, she's
probably.
God love that woman. God love that woman.
Good to have you back, Lore Master.
I know we missed the lore man, but we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, do all the things, do all the cha-cha. We will see you later on the Minji.
Boom.
Bye guys.
Bye guys.
Look at the Legion.
Good night.
Colts over Lions this week.
What is that? Who is the Is it the Detroit Lions?
Oh, I thought she was gonna go ham on us right
Who's
there.
the Colts?
I know.
What are the Colts?
Indianapolis
Indianapolis.
Colts.
You're in Canada. Why are you going for the Colts and then not?
Because the CFL is terrible.
What's your guys'? Does Canada have a team?
Canadian.
Yeah, we've got our own league that is way more boring than the NFL, so we watch American.
Some of
You
those.
Whoa!
Do you guys wear tight pants?
Yeah,
I got my type.